It's time for a book chat on Wake Up Nigeria this morning. And for that, we have Emonena Abenabe Akwara, a lawyer, author, speaker, stroke survivor, and the founder of My Ability in Disability Foundation, MAID, and also the author of the book, Hey, I Spotted a Stroke, which is what I have in my hand now. This is like a handbook. It's so good to have you in the studio with us this morning.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So much. Thank you.
This is like a handbook, especially for children on emergency.
Yes.
Because I find this really interesting, and I also find it commendable. You know how you get books for children, they talk about self-care, etiquette, manners, and the rest. But this one is talking about health, and in such a way that it is broken down for them. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to recite that poem.
Okay, so I actually recorded it in the studio.
Wow.
Yes, there's a song. Right?
Okay.
Yes, so I'm going to sing the song right now.
Please go ahead.
Forgive my horrible voice, but manage.
It's all right.
Do you know how to recognize a stroke? Recognize a stroke. Recognize a stroke. Do you know how to recognize a stroke? Fast is the word.
Is the word.
Yeah.
Okay.
F means faces drooping. A means arms can be raised. S means speech is either slurry or can't talk at all. C is time to call for help.
Wow.
Do you know how to recognize a stroke? So you can actually find this in all your favorite music platforms.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Fancy having your child know those tips, because with the way the world is going, it's so fast-paced now.
Yes.
You might think all is well with you, and you never can tell. You might be minutes away from dying just because the people around you do not know how to be first responders.
Yeah.
That is something I really loved about this book. The fact that, so okay, so the first chapter, I can give that spoiler, can I?
Of course.
Thank you. Now, in the first chapter, she sees her mom, and she notices her mom's face drooping, and then before she could say anything, she notices that her mom was, falling down, and then it seemed like her speech was. There was just so much going on. Now, for a child, the first instinct is to scream,
cry,
or
go and
start
hide.
crying, or go and hide, or think something scary is happening, especially with the fact that her mom's face drooped. But she was brave, which I find commendable, which shows that she was taught these basics.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question that came to mind when I was reading that part. Is this a personal experience?
Of course. Like
was it your daughter?
Said, no.
Okay.
I'm a stroke survivor.
Yeah.
Right. I had a stroke 9 years ago.
How old were you then?
Well, I was 23. I was very young. Yes, I was really, really young.
Whoa.
In fact, I just started my life.
Literally.
My business was about to blow.
What business was that?
I had a business called ED Braids. Okay. So I'm the middleman for hair making, like hair braiding. Okay. Right. If you want to braid your hair, you call me and I give you a price. Then I'll call my other girls, my girls. Right. They will come and make your hair and everything. So my business was actually growing. I made hair for 2 celebrities before the stroke happened.
Wow.
Yes.
So how did it happen, and how did you receive first aid?
Well, first of all, there's no first aid for stroke. Get the person to the hospital ASAP. A hospital that knows what they're doing, actually.
Another one.
Yes. So before the stroke, I was really sick. I had anemia. I had, I can't really remember the name of the infection, right? But I had like a lot of things. Then I had DVT, deep vein thrombosis, right? So it was messing up my life, right? And I didn't know that a stroke could come out of it. And the main cause was an infection in my heart, right? So you know, I went to the hospital. They didn't really know what was wrong with me.
Your BP was fine.
Yes, everything was fine.
Right.
So they didn't do like proper medical checkup for me. They just did like blood work. And blood work said, okay, I had anemia, I had this and that was all. If they had, you know, requested for more, right, they would have found the fact that I had endocarditis, an infection in my heart, and antibiotics would have solved it, right? They didn't know, right? So knowing, like, they didn't know what to do. The night when I had a stroke, there was a night that I went to the hospital and I took drugs for blood clots. They said, yes, for blood clots. So the night that I took the drug, I'm sure the infection now ruptured and sent another blood clot to my brain. And, you know, I had a stroke. I just fell down.
At 23?
At 23. I mean, mine is really rare. I didn't have high BP. I didn't have high cholesterol and everything. It was just for the infection. And if I added medical checkup to my routine every year, I mean, this would not have happened. Right, so, yes.
So, you know, you just said now that adding medical checkup annually would have prevented it. But then, of course, you did get a checkup before the incident. So maybe we should focus on comprehensive medical checkup because it's sad that you did go to the hospital. You were getting treated. And in fact, it was one of the medications you got that eventually caused the big trouble. But then, were you at home or were you at the hospital when this happened?
I was at home. I was getting ready for celebrity basketball event. It was in Oniri or something. I'm not sure they do that now. Then. And
then who was with you?
My cousins, actually.
Good for you that you're not alone.
So one of my cousins, she froze because she didn't know what was wrong with me. She didn't know, like, what's going on. So it was another cousin, a guy, that carried me to the hospital. Yes, at that night they took me to the hospital. Obviously, the nurse didn't know what was wrong with me. Another thing, how can a nurse not know
what is going on?
I mean, that's another thing that I'm advocating for, right? You didn't know, so I had to spend the night in the hospital.
Doing what?
Don't know. Like, she just dumped me in a bed upstairs and left it.
Stop it.
Yes.
So it could have been much worse. So how did you then get hit?
So the next day, my cousins came.
Next day?
Yes. And you know what? When somebody has a stroke, right, they have 4.5 hours to get proper medical attention. So I didn't get attention. The next day, my cousins came to take me out to, 2 hospitals. They rejected me. Well, I sort of know that they knew what was wrong with me. But hey, this girl
is too young to...
No, you know, this girl did not have a proper medical attention overnight. I don't want her to die.
I wish we could go on with this conversation, and I feel there's a lot to learn from your story. However, I'll just tell you this. Go check out this book. Hey, I spotted a stroke. It's one that is also good for adults. Yes, it's recommended for 4 to 9-year-olds, but it's also excellent for adults to know exactly what to do in case of a stroke. Okay? Thank you so much for your time, Nena. Thank you indeed. At this point, we've reached the top of the hour. We'll take a break. You're watching Wake Up Nigeria. Just stay with us. We'll be right back.